Hello everyone. So we are back now after a short break, and we have to continue with our syllabus. Let us hope and pray that we are going to meet and have our normal physical class very soon. Now in the previous video I had discussed about the reproductive system of earthworm, and with that the topic for earthworm was over. In this video I am starting with the topic of frog. Now what is its position in classification? That is systemic position of frog. Now how it is classified? First of all, the kingdom, that is very simple and very much known, you can say here. Kingdom is Animalia. It belongs to the phylum Chordata. Subphylum over here is Vertebrata, or otherwise also called as Craniata, because cranium is there, brain box, you understand. It belongs to the class Amphibia. Order is Anura, and family it belongs to Aranidae. The genus name is Rana and the species name is Tigrina. That means over here when we have to write the scientific name of frog, it is written as Rana tigrina. That is the genus name and the species name. Now here when we talk about that is the class Amphibia, you understand amphi means what? With equal ease. It can live on the land and also in water. That means the frogs are capable of living both on the land and also in water, that is fresh water. The common species which is found in India is Rana tigrina. Rana tigrina, and this is commonly it also called as what? Bullfrog. Commonly it is called as bullfrog. Now Amphibia, you remember the classification under the phylum, that is Chordata. 5 different classes are there, starting with the fishes, and then second is Amphibia, third Reptilia, Aves and Mammalia. Now in case of the last two, Aves and Mammalia, they are warm blooded. Whereas when we talk about the fishes, which are included under the class species, and then Amphibia and Reptilia belongs to this group what we call as what? Cold blooded, or otherwise a term has been given for this, poikilothermic. That means what happens here, that according to the environment, the immediate environment for them, whatever the temperature is there, according to that they have the ability to change their body temperature. Let us say that water temperature is, let us say 25 degrees Celsius. So according to that, the body temperature of these frogs reduces to somewhere near to 25 degrees Celsius. If suppose that the water is little warmer, let us say 35 degrees Celsius, so in that condition what happens, the body temperature increases near to the, or otherwise to adjust to the environmental temperature. That means what here, the word that is given here or the term that is used here, poikilothermic, means what? Cold blooded. That means they have the ability to change their body temperature according to the environment. They do not have a constant body temperature. Like for us, if you talk human being, and let us not human being, all mammals and all the birds, we have the ability to maintain our body temperature at a constant, that is 37 degree Celsius. Whatever may be the environmental, whatever may be the climatic condition, let us say winter, summer or monsoon, but our body remains constant at 37 degrees Celsius. But when we talk about this amphibians, and especially here we are talking about the frog, so it is a cold blooded animal. Now, it has three terms over here where I am going to discuss here. It has the ability to change the body color. It has the ability to change the body color so that it can hide itself. So that it can hide itself from their enemy. Means what? The frog can change its color, and this ability of changing the color, body color, is called as what? Metachrosis. And then with the help of change according to the background, let us say grasses are there or dry land is there, so based on that it can change its body color and hide itself, and that hiding process over here is called as what? Camouflage. Means what? Because of the ability to change its body color, it is able to hide from its enemies. Now, they can change their body color because of the presence of a pigment which is called as chromatophores, which is present under their skin. And the protective coloration over here means why they are changing the color? So that they can hide themselves from their enemies. So this is also called as what? Mimicry. Now here, when we talk about the appearance, when can we see the frogs? So generally we see the frogs during the monsoon season or otherwise the rainy season. But where do they go during the winter and the summer season? So at that time what happens? The temperature is not suitable for them. The temperature becomes more harsh for them, and as a result of that they have to adapt themselves. So they have adapted a mechanism where what happens? They hide somewhere. They hide themselves so that they can protect themselves from the extreme heat and the cold. मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा गर्मी या फिर बहुत ज़्यादा ठंड से बचने के लिए वो क्या करते हैं? वो कहीं छुप जाते हैं, मतलब under the soil you can say. And that also here I am talking about little bit of dampness should be there. Now during the summer when they are hiding, so that is called as summer sleep, and a special term has been used for this which is called as estivation. Means what? The summer sleep is called as estivation, and during the winter season when they are hiding themselves, that is called as then hibernation. Means the winter sleep is called as hibernation and the summer sleep is called as estivation. Now one question is there, that when they are hiding themselves during the summer or winter, how do they get energy? How do they get the energy? So at that time what happens? They respire or they exchange the gases, that is carbon dioxide and oxygen, through their skin only. मीन्स सिर्फ स्किन के थ्रू अपना वो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड और ऑक्सीजन का एक्सचेंज कैरी आउट करते हैं, सो दैट व्हाट हैपेंस कि उनको एनर्जी का वेस्ट ना हो, मतलब उनको एनर्जी का वेस्टेज ना करना पड़े. सपोज दैट लेट अस से हियर, and we will be dealing with this respiratory system later on, where you will find, we will learn here that they use the skin. Just under the skin they have supply of capillaries, blood capillaries, through which they can exchange the carbon dioxide and oxygen. That means they take oxygen from the atmosphere and remove carbon dioxide from their body into the immediate environment through the skin itself. When they are, let us say, during the developmental stage, when they are at the stage of tadpole and living in the water, at that time they have gills. So what happens? In water they are able to carry out the exchange of gases through the or with the help of the gills. And when they use their buccal cavity, that is another kind of respiration that we will be dealing little later when we talk about respiratory system, but at present I am talking about what? The summer sleep and the winter sleep. So इस टाइम पे क्या होता है कि वो सिर्फ अपने स्किन के थ्रू, दैट मीन्स द कैपिलरीज प्रेजेंट इन द स्किन, they are able to exchange the carbon dioxide and oxygen, and this oxygen is utilized for the respiration purpose, so that whatever energy they need in order to survive, that is available to them by the respiration or otherwise use of the fat which has been stored inside their body when they were active during the rainy or otherwise the monsoon season. So here fat bodies एक है, दूसरा एक क्या चाहिए? You know glucose is stored in the animal body in the form of glycogen. So when they are active during the rainy season or monsoon season, at that time their body has stored fats and glycogen. So during the time of their estivation or hibernation, these fat bodies and glycogen get used up, okay, so that they can fulfill their energy requirement. Now coming to the morphology, you understand what is morphology and what is anatomy. Morphology is external structure, and when we talk about anatomy, that is internal structure. So here when we talk about its body surface, first of all, that is the skin. If you have sometime touched the body surface, you will find that the skin is very much smooth and slippery. Why it is smooth and slippery? Mainly यहाँ slippery क्यों है? Because of presence of mucus, which is secreted from the mucus gland present in their skin. The skin is always over here maintained in a moist condition. क्या हो रहा है यहाँ पे? उसकी स्किन को हमेशा जो है थोड़ा गीला यानी कि वेट या फिर ऐसा बोलो मोइस्ट रखते हैं वो. The dorsal side and ventral side, you will find little bit differences in the color. When we see on the dorsal side, dorsal मतलब ऊपर का side हो गया. You understand what is dorsal side. So when you see on the dorsal side, you will find that it is little bit dark in color. Means what? It is olive green in color with some irregular spots. Dark irregular spots are there. But when you see on the ventral side of the body is uniformly pale yellow, that is light yellow in color. It lives in water. It lives in water, but it never drinks water. But the water is absorbed through the skin only. मतलब वो पानी पीते नहीं है, लेकिन स्किन के थ्रू पानी एब्जॉर्ब होता है, कर पाते हैं. The entire body can be divided only into two parts. That is the head and the trunk here. क्या बोल रहे हैं यहाँ पर कि entire body is divisible into two parts, mainly the head and the trunk. A true neck is absent here, and even it does not have a tail in its adult form. Here at present I am talking about the adult form. During the developmental stages, when they are living in the water, and that time they are called as tadpoles. So they have tail at that time, but as they develop further into adult stage, the tail is reduced and it is totally absent in the adult form. Now here when we see on the mouth part here, anterior part over here, if you just note down, at the tip over here, anterior end you can say, external nares you can see, eyes you can see, and just behind or on the upper surface you can say, what is that? Brow spot you can find, and just behind the eye here you will find a dark spot like almost circular, which is called as tympanum or otherwise tympanic membrane. See, they do not have external ear like mammals. But over here what happens when we talk about the ear in mammals, or let us say human being, ear can be divided into three parts: external ear, middle and the internal. So here in this case, external ear in frog is totally absent. The tympanum or tympanic membrane, this represents the middle ear you can say. This is like eardrum we have, which can feel the vibration, which can capture the vibration, or otherwise it is used to receive the sound vibrations. Is it right? Now it has two pair of limbs. Two pair of limbs means one is the forelimb, other one is the hind limb. Now with the help of these two pair of limbs, they are able to swim, they are able to walk, they are able to leap, and they are able to use that for even burrowing when they have to go for hibernation or estivation. So what happens here? Once again, two pair of limbs are there which are helpful in swimming, walking, leaping and burrowing. Now in case of the forelimb and hind limbs, if you see the digits over here, digits में थोड़ा difference मिलेगा. Forelimb you can see over here. What is given as fingers, that is digits, D-I-G-I-T. Over here you see 4 digits are 1, 2, 3 and 4. But in the hind limbs you will find there are 5 digits. And there is one more difference over here. In between the digits of the hind limb you can find a membrane, that is over here called as web. So that what happens, the surface area because of presence of web is increased here, and which is used generally for the swimming purpose when they are inside the water. So once again, hind limbs are first of all larger and muscular, and they have 5 digits, and these digits are connected by webs which help in the swimming process. And forelimbs are shorter with 4 digits only, and over here in this case the web is absent. One more thing, the hind limb is larger and muscular, that is generally used for hopping, that is for jumping, hopping, you understand. And forelimb is for landing purpose, means when they hop, let us say from a place, and then when they land up again onto the ground surface, so at that time forelimb is useful. Now when we see the male and female, we can differentiate as to which frog is a male or otherwise a female. We can identify that, and this is referred to as what? Sexual dimorphism. Means the frogs exhibit sexual dimorphism. Sexual dimorphism का मतलब क्या है? Actually this is a phenomenon or method or process which with the help of which two sexes are morphologically different. Means बाहर से externally देखने से हमको पता चल सकता है, चल जाएगा कि which one is a male and which one is a female. Now during this monsoon season, or that is also the breeding season for them, they exhibit some sexual dimorphism. Means what? Some characteristic by which we can identify as to which member is a male and which one is a female here. Now first thing is what? That male have a vocal sac. They have a vocal sac, whereas in case of female it is not present. But it is not that the females cannot make the noise. That is, the noise over here is called as croaking sound. C-R-O-K. C-R-O-A-K. Okay. So croaking sound over here made by female is very much, you can say, the noise is, or the sound is very low. But whereas when we talk about the male here, the male can produce a louder sound with the help of this vocal sac which is found on the ventral side. On both, a pair of vocal sacs are here. And in case of male, we have just discussed about fore and hind limbs. So here forelimbs की बात कर रहा हूँ. Forelimbs में the first finger, you can say, the first finger, which is also called as what? Index finger. And over here I have discussed about digits, 1, 2, 3 and 4 digits. So here let us say compared to our thumb, so on that a small swelling like appearance you can find, and this is actually called as nuptial pad, or otherwise also called as copulatory pad. Nuptial pad or otherwise copulatory pad, which is what I said, present on the index or the first digit of the forelimb only, not on the hind limb. सेम थिंग व्हेन वी लुक इनटू द फीमेल के केस में ये न्यूशियल पैड या फिर कॉपुलेटरी पैड इज टोटली एब्सेंट. द स्किन ड्यूरिंग द मॉनसून सीजन, दैट इज द ब्रीडिंग सीजन फॉर देम. In case of male is little bit, you can say, dark yellow during the breeding season, but whereas when we see in case of female there is no change in color. And the last thing that we can note down over here is the abdomen. Abdomen in case of male is narrow and flat, whereas when we see in case of the female, the abdominal region is broader and it is bulged out. You can just imagine during the breeding season what happens, their ovaries are going to produce more number of eggs or otherwise the ovas, and as a result of that what happens, their abdominal region becomes little broader and it is bulged out. So that was about the external structure of the frog and the introduction part. The next topic we have to learn, discuss is about the anatomy, that is the internal structure of the frog. Now when we talk about the internal structure, over here so many systems can be found here. Means what? The body cavity of the frog here, it contains or accommodates different systems, like for example digestive system. Is it right? Digestive system, followed by circulatory system, and then nervous system, excretory system, nervous system, respiratory system, reproductive system. Once again, digestive system, circulatory system, respiratory system, nervous system, excretory system, and reproductive system. Now over here what happens when we are talking about the system, you understand it is made up of aggregation of more than one organ, and that's why we are talking here at present about the organ system. So here systems are there. All these systems one by one we have to discuss, and the first system that I am going to discuss is about what? Digestive system, and this I am going to include in the next video. Thank you.